going to spend a couple of minutes going over some helpful information for the slate water wall fountain at the Sheraton Hotel. First thing we're going to touch on is this access panel here. There is an L-shaped access panel that'll get you down to your autofill. Remove any rocks, wires, lights out of the way. Reach in here and you lift up. And you can move this panel out of the way. And then here is your autofill. This part is the float. That is what's going to determine the water level. Right now the water level is a little bit high, so I would expect it to drop probably about 3 to 4 inches from what you see in this video when it is completely full. When we walk over here to the pump pit, when this pit is in place, this upside down table will be turned over and it'll set down. All the legs will go around everything and it will set flush with this black line back here, and these pebbles will go on top of it. Here's your pump. This is the pump that controls the entire fountain. It's going to plug in right here. We've got the lower portion is the intake side and the upper part is the discharge side, and the water goes that way and it comes in this way. The red handle closes the intake. The blue handle closes the discharge. The only time you will ever do that is if you need to remove this pump for any reason. So if we need to remove the pump, we can close this one, and then we can unscrew this union, and the pump will slide right out. Everything's glued into place, so when you put the pump back in, it'll slide up right against it. Just make sure you get these nice and snug on here. We're gonna open it back up so that the fountain can run. Make sure they're all the way open. With this pump, this piece is called the volute, this piece is called the pump body. The volute does a little quarter turn to come off. There's an O-ring inside of there that at the time of installation had shrunken just a little bit, so I put Teflon tape around it to prevent any leaks. We had a little bit of a drip coming out of this area here. You could see it at the bottom and filling up back into here. Very, very minor, but we don't want any leaks, so we fixed it. I think that's about it. So with this fountain, as far as ongoing maintenance goes, we aren't going to need a whole lot. This bed of Mexican beach pebble that you see all along here is going to keep any debris from getting into it. The intake to the pump is way down there, about 3 feet down. So debris is not going to make it down to the pump. Kids can throw quarters and pennies into it, and pennies will actually help keep algae down. As far as keeping algae down, you're going to use regular pool chemicals and dose this as though it's about 300 or 400 gallons. And then it'll take probably a couple of months worth of dosages to get a good handle on exactly what this one needs. This is a unique fountain because on this side it's very shady, and on this side it is blazing sun. So we are going to see algae show up here. Before we see algae show up here, it can get knocked down with a scrub brush, but we want to keep it off altogether. Lastly, winterizing this fountain, when it comes time to do it, we're going to pull this pump out and put it inside, shut the valves off, disconnect the unions, remove the pump. We need to vacuum out all of the water. There is a drain, if you go outside, right there. So you can remove the water to that drain and then blow out these lines, a shop vac or air compressor, pushing water in to make sure there's no water sitting inside of it. The discharge side will blow into the water feature, and it actually won't have any water in it because the pipe goes straight down. The discharge side is here. Will have a little bit of water in it, so somebody's going to put a shop vac up against that with the blower, and it's going to blow, and water is going to spray out of the top of it, and then you'll be ready to winterize it. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your fountain.